Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be a how-to video or a build video. If you haven't already, please jump over to my playlists and go check out the Battlewagon showcase video. It'll explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. We're going to take this Battlewagon and we're going to put a closed top on it. So go ahead, pop over there, check that out. It's about a 15-minute video, and then come back here and watch this video, and you'll get, like I said, you'll get a better understanding of what we're doing today. So today, to kick this video off, we're going to head and break this down. We're not going to need this today, right? We're not going to need this piece today. We're just going to need the basics right here, the base structure. So when I started this, I laid out a sketch. The first thing I always do when I do videos is I kind of sketch out what I want to do. So based upon my sketch, I took some poster board and I laid out what I would call a base. So I took some dimensions. I knew the distance between here and here was 2 3/4. I knew the distance between here and here was 3 1/4. I knew the distance between here and here across this front right here. I knew what that dimension was, so I knew what cross brace I could put across here. I knew how to fold this. I knew how to get this bend, right? I knew everything, and I put that all down on a piece of paper. Basically, just take a ruler and get your measurements. Based upon that, I was able to make this. As I said, this is just a plate of poster board with a 3/4 inch bend. Right, so I drew a line, bent it down, because I knew from the top down that I wanted a 3/4 inch cover, right? So from here to here, I had 3/4 of an inch. Now this isn't going to stay there. We'll show you later why, but this is not going to stay there. Eventually, I'm going to cut this out. But this is just the base structure. This is just something a framing, so to speak, like how you'd frame a house and then build around that frame. This is just an inner frame. I knew all these dimensions, like I said. So if you come in here, this is the structure I built first, and I stopped building. And the reason I stopped building is because I said I got to get this on tape. I got to capture what I'm doing, let you guys see it. Again, so you guys understand the process with no secret sauce behind it. A lot of times you'll see videos where people will do construction type videos and they'll blow through things without really explaining why they're doing it or what's happening. They just start cutting and pasting and sticking things everywhere, and so I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to explain the thought process of why you do certain things. So that way younger folks just getting into the hobby, 10, 11, 12-year-old juniors, they can go ahead and actually start learning how to convert and do some model building at the early age. So this here, let's put this on because I knew my dimensions, right? So this is what we got first, what we talked about. We're going to go like this. And as you can see, the front lays right across here, which is what I wanted. And then if you just a slight little push, it clicks. The reason it clicks is because of this little part here and here. I've got it riding sort of tight against the edge here and in the back. And it just, boom, and it's stuck. So you start playing. I gave it kind of the lowrider look, like a chop top. 1934, to 40s coupe. So I kind of thought that was cool, give it like a lowrider look. So this is angled. Again, explaining when you are converting or scratch building, this edge is really thin. Even if you were using, you could use, let's say, 1/16 of an inch plastic card or a 1/16 of an inch material and really thicken this up. But then that means the material you're working with is actually harder to work with, because every time you got to make a cut, you're cutting through 1/16 of an inch material. So you really got to razor blade it 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times to get through it. This stuff here being so thin, I just take a pair of scissors, I draw up some lines, I take a pair of scissors, I could just cut it like paper. So it helps, to me, helps speed up the build process. So again, you don't want to leave a edge that looks like this. It's too thin. Cars don't look like that, right? Construction, things that you construct, you go watch, look around you, things aren't constructed like that. You just don't see flat edge metal plates because they're sharp, they're dangerous. You just don't see it unless it's some type of metal plate where somebody just throws something up as a screen or a protector, like armor or something. Sure, but cars aren't constructed that way. Go look at your car. They've always got slopes, angles. They roll the edges, even sand rails, right? Baja dune buggies and things like that. They have these sharp metal edges, but they always end up bending a lip over. And then there's usually a tube, some type of roll cage or some type of tube that they're either pop riveted or welded to or secured to. So anyway, let's get going. So here we got the basics. This is the basic structure. If you've ever seen a Battlewagon, you know that a Battlewagon or Battlewagon, from the front of the Battlewagon to the rear of the Battlewagon, they get wider. They get wider, and then their armor plates actually from the platform where the boys would stand, it comes up. Well, this one, I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to come from here back. We're going to get wider, but my plates are going to go down. And I want those plates just to the outside of these side skirts. So we're going to come out and we're going to go down. So I've already determined the dimension. As you can tell, I got some pieces here. Trial and error. Basically, I laid this down like this, right? Took some of these, started with this, didn't work, too far, started with half, too far, cut another one. So now this ends up being the size I want. So we're going to come in here, we're going to glue these here and here. We're going to open that up. Got a piece of wax paper here, again, just to letting you guys know. If you guys don't know, I'm going to use wax paper. I'm going to throw wax paper down here. You can see through wax paper. So clearly you can see through that, and wax paper will not allow super glue to stick. And we're going to come here, lay down your wax paper to protect your surface. We're going to come in here. We're going to line that up to that edge. And I know I want a 30-degree angle coming off this back. So I'm going to glue this. Come in here. We're going to pre-test it, right? So this is just tacked it up. We're going to pre-test it. We're going to see if we were able to achieve what we wanted to achieve. So come in here, pop that baby down. So as you can see, if we put on this plate right there, the outside surface here is just outside of this surface. So once we put this plate here, and then we put more plates on this running downwards, we're going to be good. Okay, so there, base structure. That's what we wanted. So as it comes back, opens up. So we put this on. See how from the front view, now you got this. Here, let me use a pointer. So now we have this flat surface followed up by another angled surface. So basically all you're doing is now you're starting to put an angularity into your model, right? So and you're increasing the width. So it's kind of a cool factor. You just don't want it square. You just want things flat. That's what's the beauty of working with Ork. So I went and dug around my bits box and I found this piece. And this piece came off a Burner-Bomber kit or the Jet kit, the GW kit. This is like a turret thing or something where a grot is supposed to be shooting out. Well, this is going to go here in this corner back here. And I'll throw up another picture of GW's Battlewagon, and I'll show you where GW on their back of their Battlewagon, they work with multiple levels, right? So that's what we're going to call it, basically levels. So their Battlewagon isn't flat. It comes from the front, goes up, has the cockpit or the cage where they're driving, comes up again, makes the Battlewagon portion. Once you put a top on it, right, because GW has a top that goes on it and closes it, sort of a hard top. Well, even on that hard top piece, they got an additional raised section. That little additional raised section is where then they put the turret in the back. I'll throw a picture up. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'll take a picture from GW and throw it up. So basically, that's what we're going to do here, is we're going to make a square piece or a little addition where this is going to go up about 1/4 inch, maybe between 1/4 and 1/2. So it's a raised area in the back, and then we're going to drop this in there by putting a flat plate and then cutting it out and drop this in there. I found this off the same thing. It's the Burner-Bomber, right? So we take this. It's some type of intake or some type of filter. I don't care what it is. Orks don't care what it is. If it looks cool, we're going to throw it on. So my son yesterday, I had it right in the middle. And he says, why would you do that? He says, that's an intake. He says, why would you put this here? It's that's the cabin area where they're going to sit. I said, I don't care what it is. I said, it looks cool. He said, okay, we'll throw it off to the side. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You might be right. So instead of putting it dead center, we're going to throw this off over to, kind of to the side. So we have more over here than over here. This could be an air conditioning unit for all I care. I don't care. Whatever it is, it's Ork. It looks cool up there. It's some type of intake. I don't care. Maybe that's their filtered air when they're out there in the desert kicking up sand. Put it on. That's what I told my kid. I said, just put it on, man. It's Ork. So here's the grot. Yep, focus. Get that thing to focus. So here's the grot, and he's carrying a stick bomb. And we're going to use that little helmet, same grot. Well, this grot, he's going to go right inside here, standing up, and he's going to be throwing stick bombs out. So that's the joke. He's going to be standing here. He's going to throw stick bombs out. That's his job. And then we're going to put a little bucket, like a little trash can bucket of stick bombs, little extra stick bombs over here on the side. Then on here, on the top right there, I've decided we're going to put a hatch. Very similar to this hatch. Right? Same construction. But instead of octagon, we're just going to square that hatch off. And we're going to put a handle on it. So now you can basically tell what this top is going to look like. Metal plates, like an Ork. Take some sheeting, metal sheeting, some tin roofing look. Put this here, put a hatch here, enclose all this, and we're pretty much we're done. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this square piece in this corner. So we're going to grab some of this stuff isn't even, like I said, it could be a pizza box. This here was from, what is this? It looks like Nabisco, some type of cracker. Wheat Thins, I think. Yeah, this is a Wheat Thins box. So anyway, again, this stuff is free. Like I said, I'm here for you. I'm doing this for you guys. This stuff is free. You don't got to go out and buy no plastic card. You do not need it. Okay, so top is done, or the little turret area is done. Trim this up. I wanted another angle in there just cuz, again, angles are cool. And basically we're just going to trim this up a little bit. So there's another stage after all this gets built, and it's a stage where I like to call it quote unquote orking a vehicle up. Okay, so we're going to move this project forward. I don't want to make a 2-hour video because nobody wants to see a 2-hour video. That's just way too long. So we're going to get back to talking about orking things up. So as you can see here, this is called orking it up, or what I call orking things up. Basically slapping all kinds of plates and rivets and junk onto another piece of plate, or holding things together with rivets. The orcs just sit there and hammer and pound plates together until the item they need comes into shape. So we're going to do that to this top. So let me get over here and show you what we've done so far. Basically, we've glued these on. I went ahead and glued this on while I was out. So this is sturdy. All it was just glue, put it right in place. We built this. I cut the hole in the top. So I trimmed the hole with the razor blade so that would just drop right in there. So as you can see, right, we wanted the back sticking out. So we wanted this portion. And that's all I've done. So while I was out on break getting coffee, whatever, that's it. So that's as fast as we've moved this forward, So no secret sauce there, just basically cutting and gluing, getting things to fit. We glued 2 items on. So we're going to get this little Gretchen out of here real quick, because I want to see what he's going to look like sitting in there. Okay, let's get back to the wagon. So now the next part is we got to top this, and we got to put the hatch. And then, as you can tell, it's a little bare, right? So even after we ork it up, even after we put the hatches and we do everything here, it's still back here. There's something missing, like on this side. So I've decided we're going to put a little shielding over here. So once we get this all plated up, put the hatch in, we're going to take either some tubes or some more plates, and we're going to do like a little armor thing, just real small, not major, that comes across here, and maybe just another little back piece like this, just again to raise the whole surface up so you get multiple dimensions going, or multiple levels. So we're going to start making the hatch. Squeeze that with your fingernails. Right, because we want that tight. So we fingernail squeeze it. Or take a piece of tweezers. Or use tweezers, you can squeeze it there. Okay, so again, this stuff is free, right? This is a Q-tip. That piece of tube I just came from, that came from a lollipop. So this one here, Q-tip. Now that happens to fit perfect. Because we don't need it quite that messy. Square it up. Then the hatch, is going to go inside there like this. But we want to back that off a little bit, because this has to go here and this one has to go here. Like that. You see how that hatch is coming along? But again, we're going to ork this up a little bit. These guys aren't going to make hatches like that so square, nice and perfect. So we're going to do this. We're going to make a couple little cuts in here. Give that an angle. Here, it's higher than here, so that's at an angle. So we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise that off. So we're going to do what we call cheat it a little bit. We're just going to cheat it. So I'm going to take a piece of this, just cut a piece. I'm going to glue it right there, right in the middle. So drop a glue. And we put it back away from the edge, because we don't want it close to the edge, because we want it back from the edge because it's underneath and it's hiding. We're going to one more, going to cheat it again. This time to the front. Right there. One more piece, raise it up. Get it off that surface. Another thing it does is it creates a shadow. It creates again, another layer, another level. So it takes this hatch, brings it up off this surface here. So it makes it look like it's up off something there. See how it creates a shadow? And now it's off that surface. So we want to leave this. So we don't want to mess with this area here because we want that sealed. So you can't be cutting and doing things to this area here. You want to leave that so it's flat. So the only place you can ork it up is back here. Do a little slicing on it. Again, we don't care because it's an ork plate, a rusty plate. Once we paint it, all this stuff we're doing to it, it's just color. That's just adding to the texture of the model. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. So I want this, everything's going cool, everything's good. So we got an issue here where I got to start cutting little plates, little triangles, all kinds of stuff, right? We don't want to do that, or I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this again orky and cool, and I'm actually going to blow that out of there. So that's actually going to be a hole in the roof, and I'll show you once I get done going around and finishing putting metal plates on here. I'll show you what that's actually going to look like. Okay, so this is coming out, this is coming out, and this is coming out. Pretty cool, right? Punch a hole, punch a hole. I got a roof hole in their roof. All right, so let's test fit. So looking good so far. Now, as I said earlier, at least I believe I said earlier, so now that we have all this structure, right, we don't need this anymore, these two, because we have all this structure all laid out and built. So we can come in here we can cut this out now. Underneath here, basically this will get primed black. All this will be black. You'll never really see this. It's not part of the model, so to speak. Because basically all you're gonna do is you're gonna prime it black and hide it. It's just gonna be a big shadow underneath there. Okay, test fit. See how that goes down the center of the tube? Well, we don't want that to go down the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to bend it. See how that's flat now? just like a hinge should be, or hinge mounting point should be. See, so now it's at an angle and it's flat. So we're going to do the same to this one. Basically, you just pinch it right there, and you just roll it on itself, and you make it flat. Okay, so now we talked about doing something along the back here, along this edge and this edge, and maybe something right here, right? Because it's just for some reason, again, flat. We don't want it flat. It just doesn't look right. So we're gonna make some brackets. So jumping forward, moving this thing along. Another thing is I went out and I found this. I think that's the sponson piece for the las cannon or whatever of the Lehman Russ. So that goes into the sponson, and the weapon was out here. So this, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut that top off because it's hollow inside. And I'm going to attach this to right here, because that's going to be the bucket that all his stick bombs, the Gretchens or Grotz stick bombs, are going to be in that bucket. So basically we're going to turn this into a bucket. We're going to finish a few things here, so we're going to cut this like we talked about. Actually, let me get the razor saw. I would advise you to buy one of these. It's made by X-Acto. These are called a razor saw. So makes this a lot easier to cut stuff. It's like a little hacksaw blade. See, so you can see down in there, you can see part of the sticks. So again, just artistic stuff, just, I don't know, just the way I wanted it to look. Just like the other ones, we want to see underneath of it. So we leave a gap because you want to see underneath of it. Okay. So we're at day number 2 right now. I've been working on this total time, maybe put on the clock, 3 hours yesterday, 2.5, 3 hours. Filmed about 2 hours worth of video that I'm gonna have to cut down, maybe 2.5 hours worth of video. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some decorations or some artwork. The construction phase is pretty much complete. I'm happy with what we have right here. We're going to add this, and we're going to bring this look towards the back. In this area, we're going to use this here to make it look like a ladder. Okay, so that's in. We have a strap here, but you can kind of see the standoffs behind, right? We're going to put a rivet there, couple rivets there, rivet behind it. So the whole structure, we're going to rivet 2 rivets here, and then no rivets there. Basically, what they did is, I'm going to say they took a strap, riveted it to this plate, and then just held that. They're just holding that down with the strap, just with a piece of sheet metal going over the top of that. So there we go. And it fits. So that's it. Both sides. Here. Back here. So we don't need this anymore. So this lower section, basically we're done. So put this away, and all we're going to do is work on this now. So what we're going to use for rivets is this is plasticard. So it is square, plastic rod, square rod. So essentially what I do now is I just go back maybe a 32nd of an inch, and I just slice it like a loaf of bread. And you just keep slicing it 32nd of an inch at a time, maybe a 16th. You don't want the rivet so thick, because then it kind of start looking crazy. Rivets will be this huge, massive things, big bumps. You don't want those. Already got a whole bunch of rivets made up. So you come in here with your rivet, and you poke it. You have to just do this hundreds of times. Slow process. Then you have to make some decisions. Do I want to put one rivet? Do I want to split the difference? Or do I want to put more? So I'm going to put more. Instead of just putting 3 rivets, I'm going to put 4. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to split the difference, but then move over a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up, because you guys can't sit here and watch me put 200 rivets on. Essentially, right? You guys get the idea. So we're going to show you real quick. We're going to make some corrugated steel or some tin roofing. So I just started. I found this piece of cardboard just laying around. This came from a purchase, I don't know, Walmart or something my wife had. So essentially you come in here and you just start peeling this back. Right? That's it. Just peel this back. All I'm doing is taking that knife and sliding down the corrugation. But there you go. Free corrugated tin roofing. I'm going to put some of this stuff on here. So after day number 3, it's complete. So this is the finished model, or this is the finished product. So I wanted to show you this in this condition so that you can see how it looks with like all the colors, right? The different boxes I used, the different materials, plastic, paper, cereal box, poster board, wire on the side. So I wanted to let you guys see it in this condition before I prime it, because once I prime it, it's just weird how it all comes together. When I prime it gray, it'll end up looking like a GW kit, something like GW would have produced. And it's crazy how it does that. So I wanted to show you a few things here. So obviously some straps, some, tin roofing, plates, stick bomb bucket, stick bomb chukka, little thing I added here. Added straps across, added the strap in the front, metal strap across to here, straps here, rivets, some more metal strapping here, tie it in with this, different angle, right? You want to come here at this angle, so you give, like I said, angularity to it, not just straight plates. More riveting in the back. So that's it. So we're going to go out and prime it, and then I'll come back after prime. Okay, here we go. I'm all primed up. It goes on real easy. See? Bam. All primed up, ready to go. So yeah, for this project, this one's done. So ready to get going on my next project. I got a lot of stuff in works. Here's a sneak peek. Check this out. I'm going to take this and we're going to turn this into a Mega Dread. So wait till you see that one. That's going to be a doozy. This is going to be a good one. So about another 2 weeks, I'm going to start this. So look for another post in about 2 weeks. Okay guys, well, it's going to wrap this one up. I'm here for you guys. I'm doing this stuff for you. I'm doing it for me because I love the hobby. But mostly I'm putting this stuff on YouTube so you guys can see how to hack some paper up, how to convert, throw some stuff together, model. So yeah, just letting you know my secrets and how I build this stuff. So share this out with everybody, please. Support the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you know the next time I post. Share this out with all your buddies. Let them know, hey, there's this new guy on YouTube. He's creating some content. He's got some crazy models. I got some new stuff coming out. The next post or the next upload will be probably a showcase. I'm going to show you my custom Storm Boys. I got 15 Storm Boys, 14 Storm Boys led by a knob. So probably Storm Boys will be next. I got a War Boss on bike. I might do a showcase real quick. That'll be a 10-minute video. I can get through that real quick. And then we're going to get through, then we're going to start converting this Mega Dread. We're going to start making a Mega Dread. Share, like, and subscribe, fellas. I really appreciate the support. Like we always say here on Everyman's 40K, may all your dice rolls come up 6s, unless you're looking for a 1. Peace out.